Have you ever wanted to start a podcast of your own, but you just didn't even know where to start? I mean, it's so complicated.
It can be really complicated. Thank goodness we're here, Strick.
Our team can help you do everything. Intro and outro music, that cool guy with a really deep voice to introduce you, show art, show notes, audio production, hosting. We can even send you a microphone if you need one.
So if you are looking for a really unique creative marketing piece, TurnKeyPodcast.com is for you. We will take care of everything for you when it comes to creating a unique piece that you can send out to your market.
You need to be the expert in your field, and the best way to do that is through podcasting. We can create an entire podcast season for you that you can send out as a marketing piece to your customers, to your potential customers, and let them know that you are the expert in the field.
Call today for your free consultation. Just talk to one of the teammates that we have here at TurnKeyPodcast.com. Check it out. You're going to love it. It's going to be great.
Tweedledee and Tweedledum have a plan today. Here's what you can look forward to on today's Nice Guys on Business.
Doug texts me 10 minutes before we start recording with this list of topics.
5 minutes longer than normal.
Right, typically long, about a dozen topics. And the last thing he says is, do you have any holdover topics from last week? And I'm like, because we're so fucking short already? Like, you only sent me 12, of which we'll probably only get to 4 anyway. You want more holdover topics? What the fuck? No, there's no holdover topics.
They always fuck you at the drive-thru. Oh, and on the Nice Guys on Business podcast. Need an education on how to grow your business? The Nice Guys are here to help. Learn about great customer service, networking, and how just being nice can help you prosper. Now, here are your hosts, Doug Sandler and Strickland Bonner.
Hey, nice guys. Welcome back. Welcome back. My name is Strickland Bonner on the other side of the microphone, Mr. Doug Sandler, and bingo!
Oh my gosh, bingo. That was fucking nuts last week. I mean, Paul, seriously, 3.5 hours from the time the show was released, and he probably woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning to play bingo.
Well, they don't know that yet. We haven't gone over the details yet. By the way, so we did our first bingo show.
Last week.
Right, but they don't know that Paul won.
Oh, jeez. Okay, yeah, let's reverse and let's explain what we're talking about. Go ahead.
Okay, first of all, if you haven't played Nice Guys Bingo, you can go back and listen to episode 390 from Tuesday last week and hear about it, but we're going to explain it a little more here today as well. You got to listen to 388 from last Tuesday to find out about bingo.
Jesus.
390, we started our game and we posted episode 390 at 3 o'clock in the morning. And at 6:30 a.m., 3.5 hours later, Paul had already won.
It's crazy. Paul, you are banned from playing the game again.
No. It's okay.
I don't know.
The problem is we didn't make it challenging enough. We have too many nice guy-isms every episode. And so I already have a plan for this next game. But by the way, if you want to play bingo with us, it is Nice Guys Bingo. And it's basically squares that are filled with nice guy-isms. If you want to get your free bingo card, text Nice Guys, NiceGuys to 31996. No charge whatsoever. First of all, you get entered into a drawing to win a free FunkNfans T-Shirt, which we're going to draw today or maybe Thursday. Yep. And you also get a free bingo card where you can play bingo. Now, our next bingo game is starting Thursday because this one ended so quick. We're going to make it more challenging, okay?
Okay, I'm ready.
Here's the way it works.
Oh, geez.
Regular bingo is you do a straight line.
Is it going to be really hard, or is it just going to be...
No, not yet. We're going to go incrementally more difficult, okay?
Okay, all right.
Here is the plan.
Okay.
We are going to do... Regular bingo is you got to do a straight line, either straight up or across or diagonally, right?
Mm-hmm, yep.
Now, Paul won the game with a straight up and down, which means there's a free center square. We don't want to spoil the surprise, but the center square actually is a nice guyism.
Yeah.
But it's still it's a free square.
It's a free square. You don't have to even go into any more details than that.
Right. So Paul basically got 4. All he needed was 4, and he got them all in the first episode. So instead of doing a straight line, okay, we are going to try something. It is an H, okay? And so the way the H works is you have to do a straight line across the center, right? And all the way up the left side and all the way down the right side.
You think...
So basically you have to do the letter H, capital H.
And are you thinking that although it is more squares, I mean, that's the point of it, it's more squares. I still think it's going to be easy. I think we made
it's
it.
Not only more squares, but I'm sorry, I'm eating pizza now.
What are you eating?
I got dinner. Pizza. My wife brought me pizza. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt your dinner there, Strick.
I figured you were going to talk longer like you usually do, but since I have to interrupt with bingo and teach you.
Oh, all right. Okay. All right. So do you want me to explain a little bit more about the bingo thing, or it is
well, now the H. Here's the thing with the H, with one straight line, right? Not only do you only need 4 squares, but it can be a whole lot of variety of those 4 squares. Yes, it has to be in a straight line, but there's a lot of options, right?
Okay.
With an H, not only is it more squares, but it has to specifically be all 5 of the squares on the left side vertically and all 5 of the squares horizontally. Actually, you know what we could do? I have an idea.
Go ahead.
I don't know. You tell me if we want to make it easier.
Yeah.
How about either an H or a sideways H, right? So
No,
you got to do like
I know the H.
No.
You have to make it harder, not easier. Harder is
okay. Good.
Yeah.
The H then you have to do all 5 of the squares vertically along the left side, all 5 squares horizontally. No, vertically on the left side, vertically on the right side, and then the 5 across the middle with the center square. But you will have already gotten the 2, so you'll only need 2 more.
Let me just say this about the bingo game. Even if you don't play bingo, I encourage you to get a bingo card because it is fucking ridiculous how fun and how, even if you don't play along in the game, just the idea of having these in your hand and saying, oh man, they just said that, they just said that, they said that one too, oh, they said that one also. That's pretty fun. It is a fun way to play along and to help you pay attention to the actual episode.
We're up to about 55 different nice guy-isms, and they're really fucking funny.
Can you give us an example of some of them?
I'd have to pull a bingo card up.
Oh, no, that's okay.
I mean, I know so many of them. No, because if I do too many of them, we haven't started the game yet, so it's okay if we
the game
ramble off
Thursday.
a bunch of them.
Right, the game doesn't start till Thursday.
Right, so it's not like people are just going to be filling their card in because there's no game right now because the first game.
Right, so everybody knows Paul Moreno won the game within 3 hours of the game actually launching. Of course, Paul is the original Funkin' fan in the Nice Guy community because he has been listening since episode number 1. Why anybody would fucking want to listen since episode number 1, I have no idea. But now that we're on, I don't even know what number this is, but that is one of the Nice Guy-isms right there. Just so you know, Doug not remembering what episode number they're on right now.
Mention text Nice Guys to 31966. Doug or Strick says fuck you.
Hey, just so you know,
mention of fuckery.
It's Nice Guys to 31996. So text Nice Guys. You just said it wrong. That's fine. Text Nice Guys to 31996.
Strick restarts the topic speed read. That could happen today because we have to do our speed read today.
Yeah.
Doug or Strick says Funkin' fan. Mention the Facebook group. Doug mentions pajamas. Yeah. Strickland tells his hooker jokes.
Which I happen to be in my pajamas still, but since the game doesn't start,
there you go.
The game doesn't start until Thursday, so we're good. We're good right now. We may as well
Strickland
get them all out of our system.
These guys to 11. Maybe. Possibly. Yeah, we have to get all these out of our system so the game doesn't end so fucking quick next time. Yeah, or if I say we'll fix it in the mix. Yeah, that's a good one too.
lot of good ones. Lot of good ones.
Let's do a couple. Anyway, so that's the way it works. We'll put a thing up on the Facebook group that shows the H. We need the visual. It's much easier to see. You just got to make the letter H. It's got to be all up, all 5 squares on the left, all 5 squares on the right, and then the 2 across the center.
It's a fucking H, everybody. It's not that hard.
And by the way, just as a reminder, if you didn't listen to episode 388, so obviously you can do this across a number of episodes. It doesn't have to be just one episode.
There was another one, Strickland burping.
I know, I burped, yeah.
That's one of them.
Yeah. And so I forgot my train of thought now. Oh, yeah. So what happens is when you get one, you have to write the episode number down on that square. So if you have a square that says, one of the guys says Funkin' Fans, right? And if we say that during episode 395, write 395 on there. And then that way you may have different numbers from different episodes, and that's fine. And then as soon as you do get the full H drawn in, you basically take a picture of your card with each of the numbers that the episode is on, and you send it to us. And you go, hey, I got bingo. And then we'll send you a cool prize. You either get a Nice Guys on Business swell bottle or Doug's signed copy of Doug's book, or Doug's block thinger. What is that block thinger, Doug? You know
it's a quote block.
That's it, quote block.
Thanks to quote block thing. His blockhead. That's what you're going to get, Charlie Brown. Hey, and just so everybody knows, and Strick, you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think this will be the last time.
You usually are.
I usually am, is right. This will be the last time we're going to explain how to play bingo. Is that okay?
Yeah, I don't think we need to explain anymore yet.
I mean, that is exposition to the nth degree when we're explaining how to play bingo. We're going to say we're playing bingo. It starts with episode number, blah, and let's go. And here's how you get your bingo card, period, the end. If you want to go back and listen.
And we'll make a note that
yes.
if you need more instructions, episode 388, and we'll put that link in so you can go back and listen to episode 388 if you really need the full-blown instructions.
Thank you, Strickland. That is awesome. All right.
Okay, not too much exposition.
Okay, let's do a couple of housekeeping things very quickly, and then we will get on to Strickland doing the speed read, and then we will move on to the topics because we have a lot to cover. Did you keep any of the holdover topics from last week? I told you I like my rollovers. Did you save any of them or no? The ones that we didn't cover?
So Doug texts me again 10 minutes before we start recording.
Hey, that's 5 minutes.
With this list of topics.
5 minutes longer.
Typically long, about a dozen topics that he sends me 10 minutes before we record.
Yep.
And the last thing he says is, do you have any holdover topics from last week? And I'm like, because we're so fucking short already? Like, you only sent me 12, of which we'll probably only get to 4 anyway. You want more holdover topics? What the fuck? No, there's no holdover topics.
I just want to make sure that we clear out the deadwood, or if we keep them. I don't know like how you work. I don't know how your brain works. You're thinking, I have all these topics that I have to get to from last week that we never really got to. The Nice Guy community does not know that what we haven't gotten to, so I just wasn't sure if you just kind of throw them on the wheel.
Do. If they listen to the speed read at half speed, they'll know exactly what we did.
Oh, that is true. You know, Strick, when you're right, you're right. You got me on that one. Not
that anybody would ever fucking do that, but you could if you really wanted to.
All right, so why don't let's do a couple of things again. If you are listening on Patreon, recommend us.
Mm-hmm.
All right. If you are listening on Overcast, please hit the recommend button. Go back a whole bunch of episodes and do that. I want to get to number 1, but we're fucking number 2, which is fine, but we're behind Tim Ferriss. So let's figure out how to get beyond Tim Ferriss. Hit the recommend button. That's number 1.
If you're listening on iTunes, fuck you. Stop listening on iTunes. Listen on Overcast. Okay?
Yeah, we're just going there.
Stephanie Sursland. I'm just kidding. I'm just joking.
Does anybody listen on Overcast?
Stephanie Sursland apparently does
on iTunes. I have yet to run into, with the exception of Stephanie, anybody that is listening on iTunes. I subscribe to iTunes maybe for the additional 1 download, but I don't even listen on iTunes.
Nope.
I don't understand. Okay. Also, please take a second. Did we beg for a Patreon? We did that already, right?
I think so.
Yeah, okay, we're good there. Patreon.com/NiceGuys. Okay, should we get to the interview? Wait a minute, there's no interview today.
No interview today.
Strickland, you eating while we're doing the podcast is like completely nauseating me. Can you stop?
Okay, I'll stop.
I'm sorry. We're going to be done in a couple hours. You can eat then.
Right, sure, no problem.
Sure.
It's okay if I get hangry. It's all right. I won't be myself.
No. Let's well, why don't you get me going on a topic and then you can eat while I'm doing that. Okay.
Okay, we ready? I'm going to go to the speed read of the topics.
Yes, I am completely ready. At some point we should have a guest do the speed read. Sean did it once. But
you say that like it's not a skill set. Like, like anybody can just read it really quickly.
Oh, no, you're really good at it.
Dude, I get paid big bucks to do this outside of this podcast.
You do? You do speed reading for somebody?
No, I'm kidding.
At the Evelyn Woodhead speed reading course?
Exactly.
Remember when Sean did it just a couple weeks ago? He did a great job, but he was speaking extemporaneously. I wonder if you gave Sean or anybody else the list, if they could rival you in how quickly that you do it. You do a really good job with doing the speed read.
But Sean didn't do it quickly. He just did it. I mean, he had a bunch of good ones.
Yeah.
And it was like a little faster. But although, you know what? Hey, that's a good idea. I like that. Let's put that out there.
Yeah.
Excuse me, to our FunkNfans, to our listeners. I got to get that out of my system before bingo. Got to get it done before bingo. if we have any Funkin' fans, if you guys think that, if you feel that you can do a speed read of the topics quickly, reach out to us. Reach out to Doug at DJ Doug on Twitter. Reach out to me. Don't reach out to me on Twitter. I won't get back to you. Yeah. Or email us and basically say, hey, I can do a speed read of the topics. Yeah. And what we'll do is we will send you a list of topics, and then you can either like make a recording and email it to us, or you can call 4242 DJ Doug and then leave a message there, and we will read the speed read on the air.
Wow, that's really
I love it. We'll put your speed read on the air instead of mine. I love that idea.
Well, do they have to have their own topics list, or are you going to give them the topics to read?
No, what we do is they need to reach out to us and go, I want to do a speed read of the topics.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what we'll do is we'll send them the list of topics. Now, obviously, you only send me the topics 5 minutes before we record.
I was going to say they have to be really Johnny on the spot.
No, but that's okay. So what we're going to do is if a Funkin' fan reaches out to us and says, I want to do a speed read, what we'll do is when we put the list together while we're recording, we will send it to them then, and I will put it in the edit later.
Okay.
In other words, they'll text you and then we'll say, hey, here's our list of topics, but I'm not going to read them. Today, we've got John Johnson, who is one of our listeners, who's going to read it. Go ahead, John, and then we'll leave a space and I'll edit it in.
Okay, I like this idea. This is a good plan. I think this is a solid plan. I think this is one that our Funkin' fans can get behind. And if there is any speed readers or any show offs or any stage people that just like the idea of showboating a little bit, here is a great opportunity. And it's kind of like it's a little bit like a dance competition. You're going to go up against Strick on the dance floor.
I love it. And you know what? Let's open it up. It doesn't have to necessarily be a speed read. I would love to hear somebody else read it like really quickly like me. But if you just have some unusual way to read it, like if it's going to be something interesting and entertaining and fun, as long as it's not the slow read. Okay, because with 12 topics, it'll take like 15 minutes to.
Yeah, if you want to do a rhyme read, or you want to do a rap read, or anything like that, that'd be kind of cool too. I'd be into that. I'd love to hear what's out there.
Or if you have. Yeah, like that voice of God, like really deep. The NPR read that'd be entertaining too.
Yeah, an NPR.
Or the meditation read. We could do like the meditation read.
Yeah, I'd like that. And if you do it really good,
should I do that today? The meditation read?
No, I like the speed read.
It'll take too long. Okay, I will do the speed read. We are throwing out suggestions. If any Funkin' fans want to pick up on any of them, be our guest. You can do the read.
All right, Strick. We are ready. Do the speed read. I don't even have the topics in front of me, so maybe I should just get them in front of me to verify and validate that you're actually reading them all properly.
Make sure I didn't miss one.
Okay, I am ready. Go.
Okay. The plumber's finally out of my house. Summer's here. What do you do? Making fun yard sales, snug gloves, and new signs and snug gloves. Stop focusing on the dumb shit. Bingo update. Doug's experience with Doodle Diamond Okay. I'm not going to start that one over. I'm going to jump back in the middle.
No, you got to start over. I want to hear it all. Oh no!
Okay,
you kind of
yeah. I didn't get in my head enough. Okay, I'll start over. All right, just for you.
Okay.
I'll start over. All right.
I'm ready.
The plumber's finally out of my house. Summer's here. What do you do to make it fun? Yard sales, Doug loves, and new signs in Doug's office. Stop focusing on dumb shit. Bingo update. Amazon update. Doug's experience with Blue Diamond Thrive. Bad guest experience on the podcast. How to be gracious dinner guest. Doug, one episode away from finishing Daredevil and needs another Netflix series to get lost in. Harry's Razor as a sponsor. Another T-shirt winner. New bingo game Thursday. 400th episode. Do you have holdover topics from last fucking week?
Where did those last few come from? Because I don't even have those on my list.
I'm allowed to throw some in.
Oh, those were your topics.
Harry's Razor as a sponsor.
Yes.
Another T-shirt winner.
Yep.
New bingo game on Thursday.
All right.
Oh, and 400th episode.
Oh my gosh. And the 400th episode. Oh my gosh.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
We have so many topics.
Okay. All right. I think it's exactly.
Time to spin the wheel and pick a topic, right?
Yep. Do it.
Doug is one episode away from finishing Daredevil. He needs another Netflix series to get lost in.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. So Daredevil is 26 episodes over 2 seasons, and I had never heard of Daredevil before. I think did my son introduce it? I can't remember how I was introduced to the series to begin with, but about 2 months ago I started watching, and I have 1 episode to go, and probably by the time that this airs, it'll be done, and I need another series. So it doesn't have to be a like a superhero type of series like Daredevil, but I would love another good series to get my to get my entertainment on, only because I got to figure out a way to step away from this fucking computer every once in a while and put some entertainment in my life. I mean, you can relate, right? I mean, you work a lot, and you have a full-time job, and you do this, and you also have been doing the TurnKey podcast stuff. And when do you have free fucking time? Do you ever?
I don't. It's funny. I sometimes will watch shows while I'm doing editing, and a lot of times I'll put the captions on, basically, so I can read the captions while I'm editing.
Never a good idea.
But honestly, I do take very little time to just, hey, I'm just going to sit and watch shows because I am really freaking busy.
Yeah. So I've watched now all 26 of the episodes of Daredevil. I enjoyed it, and it's time for me to have a new show. So, Strick, any new shows that you watch on Netflix or Nice Guy Community?
Well, the one that I'm totally into right now, and I'm going to look this up to see if it's on, is Billions. It's actually on Showtime. I don't know if it's on. Season 1 may be on Netflix now.
Yeah.
Man, Billions is so freaking good. In fact, my wife started watching it, and so I was watching it again from the beginning. Now, it's only 2 seasons, and it's like 12 episodes per season, right? But, oh my God, Billions is really good.
So what is, give me a little bit of a like a primer.
So it's basically this guy who is like, hedge fund billionaire, right? And he does things, a little bit shady, right? Sometimes because he's a hedge fund guy.
Okay.
And it's about the district attorney of New York basically goes after him. And ultimately, like, boiled down to the bottom line is it's these two guys going at each other, right? But it's so well done. It's Paul Giamatti plays the district attorney, who is amazing. And Damian Lewis, who was in the redheaded guy from Homeland.
Okay.
You just got to watch it. It's like, when I describe it, it doesn't sound totally engaging, but man, it's so good and it's so interesting. It's so well written. I think it's the same guys. The guys that created it, I think, are the guys that wrote Rounders and Ocean's 11.
Oh, that's good. Well, I don't know if it's on Netflix. I'll have to check it out and see if it's there. Is there anything that for sure? Because I'll get my hopes up. I'll read all about Billions and and then it won't be on Netflix, and I'll get all depressed. Anything that that's on there? Sure. Nice Guy Community. If there's anything that you that's on Netflix, can you let me know? Just tweet me at DJ Doug is me. Just let me know what's on. I need a new show. Mm-hmm. Okay. I mean that was just a quickie. I just wanted to put that out there to the Nice Guy Community. I need help watching. Watching something.
So we're gonna get through one quick. Okay, let's get to the next topic. Let's go. Amazon update. We haven't done this in a long time.
Yeah, we have not done. Do you have an Amazon update, or do you need to look it up now?
Let's take a look. So for those of you who don't know, we do have an Amazon.com link. If you go to the show notes, if you shop on Amazon, which we know many of you do, if you shop on Amazon.com, go to the Nice Guys show notes and click on the link there. Basically, it looks exactly like Amazon.com. And when you buy something, we get a little commission. It doesn't cost you anything extra. And basically, you can bookmark that. And anytime you shop on Amazon, use it. We appreciate it. We get a little commission, a couple extra bucks. Doesn't cost you anything more. And shows that you support the show because you're obviously too cheap to donate on Patreon. So anyway.
Oh my God. That was great. I was waiting for where's the hook here? And that's exactly where it was. So
last week we have 4 items that were purchased on 4. We actually earned $8.12, which is amazing for a week for us.
Yeah.
Well, let's think about that actually. $8.12 if it's 4 weeks. No, it's not more than Patreon, but that's okay.
Wait.
So we're going to do an Amazon purchase of the week.
Yes, exactly.
Which we haven't done in a long time, right?
Correct. Exactly.
The Amazon purchase of the week is going to be the Power Breathe +2 Fitness Breathing Muscle Trainer.
What the hell is that?
It's basically it's a power breather thing that basically improves the performance of inspiratory muscles. And it basically improves your fitness, right? So it's for like people who are doing serious training,
my gosh,
right? Like
who the hell?
It's not only that you want to train, you want to learn to breathe better and stronger and reduce. It's It's
That's
kind of cool.
nuts. I never even knew something like that even existed. So does it force more air into your lungs? Is that the kind of thing it does? Or does it give you a richer...
I'm really not sure how it works. It does have an adjustable tension range resistance. So I guess as you get stronger, you can make it harder. But that's what's really cool about it. I think it's...
Okay. All right.
It's pretty cool, and that's why it is the Amazon purchase of the week.
What can you give me the other couple of items? I'm just curious what the other things were that lost out because
there was a Keeper waterproof rooftop cargo bag.
Okay, I can relate to that. I understand what that is. Okay, what else?
OXO Good Grips Uplift Tea Kettle.
Mm-hmm. I bought that for my mom.
Polished stainless steel.
I bought that for your mom. I bought that. Thank you. I bought that.
I appreciate you using it.
How much did we get for that? Because it was like a $50.
Oh, you bought the tea kettle?
Yeah, it was like a $50 tea kettle.
It was a $50 tea kettle.
Yeah,
we got $2.25.
Yes, that's pretty awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's quite awesome. Do you know how much we made in the last 30 days?
I'm ready. Tell me.
$39.
What the fuck? Strickland.
I know, right?
Strick, come on.
Let's see. Some of the bigger ones. A Naturoval 6-in-1 pet carrier backpack.
Ooh, nice.
That was $50, but we got $4 from it. I don't know if we got
I wonder how they determine.
I
don't know. I wonder how they determine what the percentage that you're supposed to get. So Strick, I mean, to a degree, we're exaggerating that we actually are broke. I mean, come on. I mean, Patreon is just one source of many. Now, remember when I first introduced the text to join? I mean, everybody was like, "Well, why do you have so many different ways that people can get in touch with you?" You know what? Because people like to reach out in different manners, just like people like to listen to our show as opposed to reading my book, as opposed to buying my online training program. And fuck it, nobody's going to pay for me to come out and speak. I mean, they won't even they won't even pay $2 to hear me rant for 4 hours or 5 hours a week. What the fuck? I mean, big companies hire me, but Jesus, people, what's up with you?
So what are you trying to say, Doug? Sounds like we're begging again, which
no,
you know what?
I'm not
okay with.
I'm not begging. I just think it's funny that Amazon is $39. I love that. Does it say what we've done year to date?
I can find out. Let's take a look.
Yeah, I'm very curious. And then is this going into like some big bin of money that we haven't seen yet, or do you have to ask for it?
I think it actually gets deposited into my Amazon account automatically, so I'm just taking it. But I think it does it. It's not.
I hope you're enjoying it.
Actually, for the year.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's funny. I think last year we said, hey, you know what? We'd like to reach $100 in Amazon commissions by the end of the year last year, right?
Right.
So between January 1st and now, we've actually earned $149.
That's fucking awesome, Strick.
In 6 months. That is pretty awesome.
That really is good. We have reached a goal. That's good. Well, so what'll happen is after we put all this stuff together, when do we ever get the Patreon money, or are you keeping that too?
Well, that's sitting right now, but you're right. We totally can. We need to get that too. But yeah, I haven't. That's sitting with Patreon right now.
Just so you know, I've received nothing. I've got nothing. Strickland's keeping it all. But you know what, Strick? You pay.
I'm also paying for Libsyn every month.
Say, you're paying. We really should do. We haven't done this, but we should really do. You know how I think John Lee Dumas is very, very transparent with the money that comes out and the money that comes into his podcast. It's interesting. We should probably do a spreadsheet. It would be quite comical. It would look like.
Well, that's the thing. I'd be, I have no problem being so transparent, but it would just be embarrassing because it's so little.
Yeah, but then we're
going to have a whole website page that's like, okay, here's what we've done with amazing marketing this week. Our earnings for the month are $12.37.
It's
okay.
really not. The earnings that we have through the sources like Amazon and Patreon are really not commensurate with the number of listeners that we have. So you're probably right. It probably, I spoke to Steve Olsher, who is putting together the New Media Summit that I'm going to be attending in September was an icon of influence as somebody that has a big listening audience. And what he said when I had a conversation with him about the size of our audience is he said, he was asking me about monetization. I said, yes, we do try to monetize the podcast. And he said, with a listening audience of the amount that you guys have, which is nearly a lifetime download count of almost 600,000 downloads, He said somewhere in the area of $1 to $3 million he should have made. And
What?
Yes, I'm telling you. And I said to him, because I talked to him a lot, not just about the monetization side of the podcast, but just about the business side of it. And he's always asking me questions about, well, what's your call to action and what's your value proposition? And I totally get it. But Strick, we do this completely bass backwards. I mean, I think what's going to end up happening is we're going to end up at some point making a lot of money on the show. We're just taking our time to do it, and we're just doing it in a roundabout way. We're not really focused on, I don't know. He talks all about finding a niche product and finding something that your audience will like. Now, what would that be? I mean, what the fuck would our audience? What do they want?
Well, that's the problem. We've talked about that. We don't have our avatar. We don't know. We talked about that last week, actually. We just don't know who our listener. We have a kind of a good idea of sort of what they're about.
That's cool. They don't have to do anything. That's avatar. All right. It's fine. And it's fine. You know what, people? We love you anyway. There's got to be a collection bin of audience members, and that is our nice guy community.
We'll just keep on doing it.
We will. We're not going anywhere. We'll be right here. Just continue to ignore our call to actions. Everything will be fine. We'll be right here.
You keep downloading. We'll keep fucking recording. Right? Whatever.
It's so true. Okay.
Anyway,
there we go. All right. What is it going to be?
New sign in Doug's office. Stop focusing on dumb shit. I like that.
Yeah. I have spun my wheels so many times through the last 5 years just trying to figure stuff out. And
Sorry, you said spun your wheel. I just had to throw that in.
Oh, I thought you were
I was not trying
me.
to cut you off like I didn't like the topic. I was spinning your wheels.
And just so Nice Guy community knows, today being Tuesday episode, that does not count as a Strick cuts Doug off when the wheels spin.
Well, it counts, but it doesn't. There's no bingo game going, so it doesn't matter.
Do you have hi-hat? Do you have hi-hat as a bingo square?
I have sound effect.
Oh, you do? Okay.
So that includes that or this. Or this. Get it all out of my system right now.
Yeah, while eating pizza. Oh my God!
No, I'm eating pizza. Go ahead, tell us your story about your sign, and I'll eat pizza.
Well, no, there's not a long. I'm sorry, I'm going to make this not a long story, but I'll make it a story to a degree. How many things do we do in the course of our day that are stuff that we don't want to do, but we do it because somebody says, hey, can you do such and such? And you don't want to hurt their feelings, so you fucking do it. I have a very hard time saying no. And I should really take a picture of this sign and post it up on our Facebook community. I have a sign that is literally on my computer that is taped to it. It says, stop focusing on dumb shit. We do this every day to ourselves. We waste our time on invaluable things for our business and for our life, and it's a time suck, and it's not good. I'm not talking about things like entertainment or watching Netflix as a form of relaxation or anything like that. But the stuff that is unimportant to you in your life, we've got to fucking get it out of our lives. It drives us all crazy. It drives me crazy. And I don't. Are you someone that has those things that enter your life on a regular basis?
The first step to solving a problem is identifying your problem and identifying that you have a problem. And I am the same way. I am so bad about saying no. And really, as soon as you realize, you know what, there is a lot of dumb shit that I do that is taking up my time, that is not making me any money, that I don't want to be doing. And when you realize that, that is totally the first step. And you and I both need to learn to say no more. And we do need to learn to focus on what can actually be productive, either to bring money in the door, to offer value to our listeners or value to our customers or something along those lines. I totally agree.
Okay, so what is so step one is identifying it. What is step two? Because that's the one I always mess up.
You know, you hit it on the head, I think. The first step, the easiest way to stop doing dumb shit, first of all, realize what is productive versus what is not productive, right? But the second thing is, the things that are not productive, there are going to be some of them that you just realize you're doing on your own and you just stop. But the bigger ones, the harder ones, saying no.
Yeah.
Saying no. In fact, maybe this ties in. You can tell me with this other topic. We'll grab another one that you mentioned. You said bad guest experience on a podcast. Now, I'm assuming this is bad guest experience as in you were being interviewed on somebody else's podcast, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. It was, and you're right. Because if I spent just a few minutes investigating and researching the podcast that I was invited on, I would have realized that this was not a podcast that I was meant to be on. The guy that the host of the podcast, and I'm not going to mention any names, the host of the podcast was a new host, so he had only a handful of episodes that are, and Lou, I'm not talking about you, just so you know. Lou Diamond with Thrive Loud, fucking amazing podcast, and he just interviewed me today. But it was
wasn't coincidental that you put bad guest experience on a podcast on the topic list right after you put Doug's experience with Lou Diamond Thrive.
No, it was not it. So this was a guy that had never listened to our show, that had no clue what I was all about, and I kept wondering, why the fuck did I even say yes to coming on his podcast? So basically, what happened was that when I got on his podcast, I'm like, really? You're asking me this question? You want to know, like, what's it like to run a podcast? And you want to, I mean, he was asking me questions like he was completely, it was a bad networking experience. Like, so what do you do? You know, and what are your goals? And, you know, it's like, really? Seriously? You know nothing about me. And I'm not saying that he should know anything about me because I'm a famous guy. He should know something about me because he's fucking done some research to figure out at least what I'm all about so he could ask me some topical questions.
Right. It's your responsibility, if you are going to ask for someone else's time, to at least put a little time in and do a little research. And, you know, Doug, I think the first thing is, you have to learn to say no, which is easier said than done, right? I mean, it's very hard sometimes to say no, but there are a couple things that you've done already, I think, that are a great path to that. For example, when you have somebody that wants to be on our podcast, the first thing you do is you say, okay, I need you to listen to a couple of episodes, and then I need you to give us a 5-star review, right?
Yep.
Now, that sounds like bribery. It sounds like basically, hey, I need you to pay me and then you can come on the podcast. But it's not like that. What you're trying to say is, first of all, I want you to listen to a couple episodes because you need to hear what we're all about, right?
Right.
I know at least 50% of people who are on a lot of podcasts would listen to ours and go, what the fuck is that? I don't want these guys interviewing me. In which case, we don't want to interview you, which is perfect. We don't want you coming on if you don't like what we're doing, right?
Oh, I've had people, before you continue, I've had people that I've given that instruction to, they said yes, and they've gone away forever.
Really?
And that is okay. Yes, it's not like that.
I love that.
Yeah,
it's I totally love that.
It's not like this is a foolproof, and I don't like go then like, well, did you like the show? I don't say that. If they don't follow up with me, it shows me, one, that they haven't done the homework, or two, if they have done the homework, maybe they don't feel like they're a good fit for the show, and I'm totally cool with that. I probably get now between 10 and 15 requests every week, at least 10 and 15 requests directly emailed to me, not to mention probably another 10 to 15 that I get through social media to come on the show. We just don't have the bandwidth to put on that. I mean, yeah, we could do 20 episodes a week, but I think our fucking fans would get a little bit tired of us.
No, we're not doing 20 episodes a week. But I also love the fact that you say, give us a 5-star review. Now, it's not just like, hey, you give me a review and we'll interview you. You're basically saying, look, dude, listen to us. And if you don't think we deserve 5 stars, if you're not comfortable putting your name on that, then you know what? Again, you're probably not right for us, because really we do get a lot of requests. We want people who really want to be on, especially after hearing what we do. The best ones are, Doug, when you say, hey, listen to a couple episodes, and they get back to you and they go, oh, fuck me. Like, I contacted you because I know you guys get a lot of downloads and I wanted but man, I listened. I can't fucking wait for this interview. Yeah. That's the kind of people we want.
And I have gotten, especially recently, that I've really leaned into that because the requests have far exceeded far exceeded the number of people that we could actually have on the show. The follow-up to that is when they call me back or they email me back and they say, this is going to be really cool. And then they give me like specifics of the things that they like. Now, what's really interesting is and Nice Guy community, you'll see this soon, is that at some point you're going to get not only the guy saying too optional.
At some point soon.
At some point soon, guy or girl is going to say that, of course. But you're getting people that come on the show that it can actually talk the lingo that we use on the show. Now, granted, not everybody is going to stick around to the very end of the podcast. Listen, I go on a lot of podcasts, and when I go on the show, I do want to listen to a couple of episodes. I may not listen to the whole episode, but I might pick up 5 or 10 minutes of various portions, enough for me to say, this is an interview show. They have a co-host. They play really cool music. They have good conversation. It doesn't seem like it's stacked questions. You know, they're not looking for sound bites. Enough for me to have a little conversation with them. So I do love that. And you're right. That is one thing that I have done to stop saying no. I'm looking for other things like that in other parts of my life. The podcast is not an area where I feel like we're having trouble either getting guests or having a system. We have a good system with the podcast.
Oh, totally. But what I was trying to get at, and I apologize if I probably was not being very clear about it, I think those are a couple of tactics that you have implemented and created that work really well if you don't want to just say no.
Right.
If you want to be polite or if you're having a hard time because somebody's being pushy, you need to maybe find other tactics that are along those same lines to make it easier to say no.
Good point. All right. Well,
I don't know how far we are into the episode because I didn't really pay attention to the time when we started, but I think we're about 30 minutes in or more.
Okay. Well, that's fine. We'll wrap up here.
Cut it short.
But my promise, just so you know, and then we'll wrap up the episode. My promise is that I am going to definitely make some major changes in the upcoming weeks and months because I can't go at this pace for much longer because literally from the time I wake up till the time I go to bed, I am either doing something for C-Suite, doing something for the podcast, doing something for my speaking business. And I know that you're doing the same on your side too. And you have a full-time job. So we both need to make that promise to each other that we're going to work harder at this saying no thing. And I think I called you the other day. I was driving in my car and, I was asking you, I forget what I was asking you advice about. Oh, I remember what it was. I can't share it on.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, I know you can't share it. Yes, I know what you're talking about.
But I needed your advice because you oftentimes are that guy that grounds me when I'm like, okay, am I being unrealistic here when I'm thinking that I should be saying no to this? And you were like, fuck no, you did the right thing by saying no. So thank you for helping me sometimes get beyond that. People, Nice Guy community, FunkNfans, ladies and gentlemen, find an accountability partner that you can say, hey, can you help me say no to this because I'm thinking that I should say no. What's your opinion? I think that might be a good plan. So I promise to do that with you more often.
We're going to tease the Thursday show. The joke that I told you when we had that conversation, I'll tell that Thursday.
Okay, interesting.
Unless you think it's really not that funny. I think it's a really good joke, but
I can't remember.
It's not my hooker joke.
I can't. Well, yeah, it's good. You can't tell the hooker joke on Thursday because that'll be a free space square also.
Free space, exactly.
Free space.
Okay, let's wrap it up here because I think we are long. We're trying to keep it down reasonable amount of time. And we've got plenty of topics to talk about on Thursday. Bingo starts on Thursday. It's going to be an H game. So you have to get every square on the left, every square along the right, and then the two across the middle to make the letter H.
Nice Guy community, never underestimate the power of nice. Thank you for an amazing month of May. 79,800 plus downloads. We were just a hair short of 80,000. We're going to hit it this month. There's no doubt we're going to hit it this month. I cannot wait for our first 100,000 month. So never underestimate the power of nice and the Nice Guys. Steve O'Brien, go ahead and take us out of here.
For the Nice Guys on Business, and in accordance with my court-mandated community service, I'm Steve O'Brien. Only 27 more voiceovers to go, and then maybe they'll let me leave the state. And take this ankle bracelet off.
Are you getting a lot of...
Yeah, what? Delay?
A lot of spam calls on your phone? Your cell phone?
Yeah, I am.
Like somebody's calling from 816 from a fucking Missouri number right now. Like, I don't know who the fuck you are. Like, I'm really going to answer?
I get a lot of spam calls to my phone.
Crazy.
Excuse me, do you have any Grey Poupon? No, fuck you.